Now, as you can see, last night we jumped the gun a little bit. We pulled the front and rear seats. And again, this is something that's not brain surgery. There's 4 bolts per seat, remove a couple of covers. Nothing dramatic, nothing special to show. The rear seats, even easier. They're 1 bolt and slide them off the bracket. Rear seats just pop up. So no point in wasting video on that. But what we've got now is a filthy interior. And we're going to start by finishing off the disassembly, which is going to include removing the sun visors and then removing the headliner. Now this is a bigger job and we're going to kind of take you through it a little bit. It's a chore because of what you got to watch for. Again, none of this is brain surgery, but you've got to be very, very careful to make sure you've removed everything that's holding the headliner in place. Now the headliner itself is gone, the material's fallen off it, but we need the base of that to recover. So we've got to be really careful. When we're finished that, it's going to be time to scrub. We'll show you a little bit of that, not a lot, because it's not exactly a science. But it's got to be cleaned, shampooed, vacuumed, washed down, scrubbed out. It's toothbrush time in the corners and things like that to get the interior back in shape. In the meantime, we've got to start thinking about what we're going to do for seats. Now these are the old seats from the passenger side. We saw them in an earlier video. They're shot. The driver's side is no better. So we've got to figure out what we're doing. And we've got a lot of different options, but we're trying to keep as far under budget as we can get. We've set a $1,200 budget to do the interior. But the more money we save, the more money we have to spend on performance items. So we need to find a balance, which is going to be pretty tricky because we want it to look good. You know, we don't want to gain performance and have a lousy looking interior that's uncomfortable. At the same time, you know, we want a good looking interior, but we want to have enough money left over to improve the performance. So it's a bit of a quandary that we're still working on. But in the meantime, we can get a lot done. We can finish the disassembly, and we can recover the headliner, do a major cleanup, get everything looking good. So we'll be back in a few minutes to start on all that here on Real Builds. Okay, time to get started on the interior. Our only real weapons this time around are screwdrivers. We need Phillips and flat. What we have to do is we have to get up into here, get the sun visors out so that we can get the front to come down so we can get this piece of the headliner out. And then behind us there's a couple of panels that have to be worked with in order to get the back down, which means taking out coat hooks and things like that. So again, not brain surgery, but you really have to go slow, take it easy, and get the pieces off carefully, and don't lose any parts. Lose parts costs us money. So we'll get started here. And just to show you how easy it is technically, we're just undoing some screws. And these screws are going right in the console so that they don't get lost. So it really is that easy. We're going to save everything that we take off, and we're going to keep going. Now, different cars are set up different ways when it comes to headliners and interior panels. So you got to be really careful. Before you start trying to force something, make sure every single screw is out. Some cases, panels have to come off to drop down, all kinds of things like that. So patience is a big deal. You know, if you get somebody to do it, it costs a fortune. They're worth their money, But a lot of this you can do yourself and then deal with it afterwards. So we're going to keep going here at Real Builds, and we'll be back once we get this stuff down and the headliner out, and revisit it. But remember, none of this is horribly difficult, just time consuming. So it's a beautiful day, we have lots to drink, and have at it. We'll be back on Real Builds. Okay, now we've got the headliner out, and you can see how many panels had to be removed and or loosened in order to get it out. And we've put all of our parts on the dash. Okay, driver's side on driver's side, passenger side on passenger side. Screws are in the console. And we've pretty much removed all the damage from the interior. Now the tricky part is going to be how we're going to start fixing this stuff and doing it on a budget. So let's look at what we got. Here is the liner from the headliner that we just removed. It's in pretty tough shape. You can see the front isn't that bad. It's weak, but it's not that bad. However, bear in mind this is upside down, so this is the passenger side. That piece was busted right off. This side's pretty weak. Overall, the structure is not great, and a replacement ABS one is not cheap. So, got to do some serious thinking there. The T-tops are in good shape. They're sitting on top or beside the seats now. And from this point, we move into cleaning up the interior and seeing what else we've got to deal with. We'll be back here on Real Builds. Okay, we've started cleaning up the TA. And this is a great way to get everybody involved. Right now, my 11-year-old is doing the great vacuum attack. Because the first thing we have to do is get all the loose garbage out of the TA.
I am very much told not to be doing this.
You are! Do a really, really good job.
Doing my best.
Now once we get through this, and while he's doing it, I'm going to get a big bucket of soapy water and some brushes ready, as well as some carpet cleaner. Okay, don't forget, you got to go back and get absolutely every piece of dirt, right?
What I'm doing right now is I'm going forward, and then I'm going to do it again in the same way.
Okay, you keep going. So while Danny continues vacuuming, he's already got this back end pretty clean. So we're going to get in there.
I'm doing my best.
Good.
This is actually
And we're going to hit it with a brand name carpet cleaner. Just follow the directions. Coat and then scrub. I like to do an area of about 3 or 4 square feet at a time.
Oh, great thing!
What?
I think we got a plug.
I'll be there in a sec. Then you just keep going
What?
and keep letting it dry and
Yes,
continue
we
to
got
the
a
next
plug.
section. So do each section. I do about a 3x4. And then move on to the next, letting it dry after you've scrubbed the death out of it. And move on to the next one. And as Danny gets his stuff vacuumed, we'll just keep moving up. So we'll be back here in Real Builds in a few minutes after we've gotten all this done and we've started on the next step. Okay, we're continuing on the cleanup of the Firebird here, and you can see already with one application first vacuuming, then one application of commercially available carpet cleaner, it's come right up. And the front end is good, but we're not there yet. So the next step is we're going to take a bucket of water and a liquid spray-on carpet and upholstery cleaner, and we're going to go over the whole thing again and scrub it to death here on Real Builds, and then it's time to let it dry. So we'll give you an example of what we're doing when we come back. Okay, here we go. First, we put a liberal dose of the liquid carpet and upholstery cleaner everywhere we can see or get near. Then, bucket of soapy water, scrub brush, and havoc. And scrub it hard, especially the carpet. It's got years of built up grime, but it looks like it's in pretty good shape. The only way to be sure, get in there and clean it. So, you can see what we're doing. You can see how we're doing it. Lots of soap and water and cleaner. And once you've completed the whole floor and interior and upholstery, then it's time to let it sit until it's bone dry. Because that's when it comes time to vacuum it again. So, once again, trading time for money. We're giving her the big cleanup here on Real Builds. Okay, we're back here at Real Builds, and you can see, using essentially soap and water, we've done a pretty amazing job of cleaning up the interior of the Firebird. Now when I say soap and water, I'm talking about the bucket of water we used, the scrub brush, the liquid carpet and upholstery cleaner, as well as the foam one. We scrubbed the death out of the carpets, the console, the door panels, cleaned up the dash, and we've done a good job on cleaning up the hatchback area. So it's gone from being a royal, disgusting pit to a pretty good looking car again. Now we still have repairs to do, like we can see here. We've got a bit to do on that carpet and a couple other little places, but all in all, it's turning out pretty good. Now, something that didn't turn out very well on the interior were these fabric panels that fit the plastic inserts that go up and around the quarter panels. Now, they were a tan color, but when they were cleaned, they leached out what appeared to be 30 years of nicotine and dust and things that when it dried they were pretty gross. So what we did was take a black primer and painted them, and we've put on one coat of a gloss black enamel spray paint. And they're starting to look pretty darn snappy. So we're going to give it another quick coat. And these are just light coats. We make sure we get all the edges and behind, like so. And we ensure it's evenly sprayed so that we get a nice finish. Now this will integrate well with the headliner and the other parts.
Ooh! What you doing?
I'm just refinishing fabric panels that were really ugly.
You recording?
Yep.
I'll just watch,
Okay.
like, from the video perspective to see what the camera's catching.
Okay, there we go.
Have you shown your... Have you shown your
There we
face
go.
on this?
Just like that. Now we let them dry for a few hours and we'll do a final check. We'll be back.